What does a marketing professional do? Welcome. If this is your first time here, my name is Belal Khan, marketing by profession, media by passion. This channel is all about helping you get your creative confidence on and make your ideas real. So one of the questions that I got here is, what does a marketing professional do? Every facet of the industry has marketing professionals. Marketing is, at the end of the day, communication. Fundamentally, it's about influence. Influence really just comes down to leadership and reputation. Ultimately, what does a marketing professional do? Their job is to make sure that whoever they're working for or whatever cause that they're promoting or so on, that its influence is grown and its reputation is upheld. And as a marketing professional, what are the specific skill sets that you're going to be employing? That's where the real answer is going to be. There's really three areas that you're going to be operating in. Area number one is that you're going to be operating in the space of attention. Okay. Area number two is creative, and area number three is the actual product creation or development itself. Let's start with the first field or first sphere, which is attention. And look at it as a Venn diagram. Marketing, you got attention, you've got creative, and then you've got product or offering. So in the area of attention, really you want to consider three things: advertising, branding, and public relations. Each one of these three things is very different, but it's all part of attention. As a marketing professional who does advertising, your job is essentially that, is buying attention. Whether now, more and more popular these days, if you want to get a job in this, then consider learning and getting up to speed on areas of digital advertising, specifically things like Facebook ads, things like Google pay-per-click ads, Instagram ads, influencer marketing, right? Sponsorship advertising, essentially all of the modern day situation and context to buy attention. That's essentially in the scope of advertising. Public relations is a whole different field. If you want to understand public relations, make it a point to study aspects of journalism. Public relations is essentially another word for propaganda. That's essentially, by and large, fundamentally synonyms. In fact, before it was called public relations, they would call it propaganda, but it sounded very communist. It sounded very Red Scare-ish. So they said, hey, let's change the thing and call it public relations instead. It sounds more politically correct. At the end of the day, it's all about borrowing attention, identifying who has attention on the daily, on the platforms, in the circles of influence that you want to be able to sell to, and getting in some way, either through bartering, either through collaborations, either through partnerships and whatnot, to essentially borrow the attention that other people have, so that you can grow your own attention. So, and then the third sphere is all about branding. This is fundamentally, it's about owning the attention. It's about your reputation. There's no other fancy way to put it. It's who knows you for what you have done and what your strengths are. That's what it really comes down to. Each one of these is its own profession. It's its own career. It's its own, career path, so to speak. The sphere of creative, in that space, you're looking at the stuff that you communicate, your audio, your video, your text, that you deploy against the attention that you have. The context in which it is deployed matters. How you deploy, how you word something, how you present something, in terms of whether it's for advertising versus whether it's for borrowed attention, i.e. public relations, or it's for the attention that you already own, the reputation that you have, you're just trying to leverage that. The creative and the way you word things is going to be determined by that context. This is how you differentiate between a professional versus an amateur in the space of marketing, is when they know what is the appropriate type of creative to deploy against the kind of attention that they have. When you say buy my stuff, well, you can say buy my stuff for the attention that you own, but the way how you say buy my stuff for the attention that you've bought is going to be different, because you still have to earn essentially the trust of the individual. That's the key differentiating factor. And so if you bought attention, the creative that you deploy first has to go towards generating and cultivating trust. And only after you've given value, then can you say, buy my stuff. If you own the attention, they already trust you. So when you say, buy my stuff, they will buy. All other kinds of marketing assets as a creative professional that you produce is going to be contextual to, like, if it's branding, you're producing creative that is geared towards reminding folks of the reputation that you already have. If it's advertising against people that don't know or don't trust you, then it's about creating content that would build trust, or at least associate something or position what you are, or what your brand is, or what your company is about around that. So you're not going to find Red Bull juxtaposing, right, putting next to or along with, say, a wedding video. unless they're going to be doing some X Games style stunts at the wedding, right? Just as an FYI, like that's what I mean by this is where branding, this is where creative in relation to branding or advertising or public relations is appropriate. And even you might be thinking, oh, well, what kind of creative goes with public relations? Has to do with writing, a lot of writing, right? It has to do with even photography, has to do with collaborations, and the kind of work that you do with people. Is the stuff that you're going to produce, is it going to be along the lines of those whom you're collaborating with? So, and ultimately when it comes to the product offering, which is the last sphere, that last sphere is all about making sure that it goes into product design, product creation. The quintessential face for somebody like this is maybe Steve Jobs or even Bill Gates, in terms of these guys are designers, maybe even engineers, culture makers. Essentially their whole thing is to, like, they're trying to they have a specific call, i.e. a campaign such as think different. That's a calling, right? There's an action that they're pushing. How they do it, whether it's through the buying of attention or borrowing it, or reminding people of in terms of the reputation that they already have, the creative that's being deployed and everything that's being designed around it, all of it is geared towards that specific message. Fundamentally, that last sphere, I think more basically is messaging. That's what it comes down to. Is the messaging clear? The messaging in terms of what you're about, in terms of what you're offering, in terms of what you're calling to, that has to be clear. And each one of these three things falls within the scope of marketing, and there are professionals who do that work. So it's just a question of, like, are you a designer in the sense of, like, do you create, or are you the type of person that would be creating the product? Or are you the type of person that creates the creative, the communication pieces that promote the product? Or are you the person that is given that creative and then uses that to leverage attention, right? So that's what it really comes down to. This is what a marketing professional does on a very basic and fundamental level. So these are the three major spheres. Again, just as a summary, it's attention, it's creative that's deployed against that attention, and it is the message or the offer that you are bringing people towards. Each of these three is its own domain but falls within marketing. So I hope you found that helpful. This channel is all about helping you with creative confidence and making your ideas real. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Join the notification squad. All of that good stuff. Hit that bell icon and whatnot. And I will see you soon.